Okay, so it's been a couple of days since the original Google Doc came out about Sykkuno, which obviously was a massive one and has caught the attention of a lot of people. And well, this has been pretty shocking for many, including obviously some that were close to Sykkuno. Now, obviously, if you guys don't know, Sykkuno obviously, was a part of OTV and all of this kind of stuff, and very close with a lot of people over there. And, it's been a big shock to a lot of them, as well as many other creators in the kind of similar sphere, to find out exactly what has been going on, and to find out the information coming from hemomalvt and a lot of other VTubers and people that have been speaking out about this and speaking out about their interactions with Sykkuno. Now, there's been multiple kind of responses from, some of his friends or old friends. I don't know if they're still friends or not. But of course, yeah, it's been pretty, interesting to see. Now, obviously, the first one being Valkyrae, who actually did comment a while back, like whenever this first dropped, saying it was disappointing. But that was about it, really, and said that she was going to go live. And yeah, she did go live and talked about it a little bit, said that she actually spoke to him as well, which also could give us a little bit of a hint at what the kind of response is going to be like, if any. So obviously, yeah, here is the clip. Let's just play it and then we'll talk about it.
It is disappointing, but what happened? I'm surprised. Some of you don't know, but yeah, he's a cheater. He's a cheater. But yeah, we talked, and he's gonna figure things out, and I hope for the best, and I am so sorry to all of those involved. And then, yeah, Rosanna, thank you.
So yeah, that's essentially all of her response to that. She also talked about it a little bit more in other clips as well, but this was the main one, really, saying that it was disappointing and that they talked to each other, and that apparently he's going to figure things out, and saying that she hopes for the best. Now, the kind of messaging and the kind of way that she puts this off seems like, they're probably not going to be interacting anymore. And obviously, she says hope for the best, right? Meaning that usually that means that they're splitting ways and they're not going to really be talking to each other, and that she hopes for the best for him in the future, right? And of course, that kind of gives you a little bit of a indicator as to what I guess Sykkuno is thinking at the moment, because obviously, if there was some kind of case to be made of Sykkuno, coming out with a ton of information that we didn't know about, and maybe changing the the tides or the tables or whatever you want to call it on this situation, then of course I feel like his friends would be backing him up a little bit more. I feel like they would be kind of be like, he's gonna come out, he's gonna talk about it, and then we'll obviously talk about it after that, something like that. Usually that would be the response from a lot of friends that maybe have heard his side of the story. If he's tried to tell them, hey, no, actually, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is fake, or this isn't real, or whatever. Like, I'm not saying that it is fake, by the way, but if he had some kind of rebuttal at all to the situation, I feel like his friends would be backing him up on that, and would be saying like, okay, yeah, we're just going to wait until he comes out with more information, and I'm going to wait until I know more. But it seems like they do know everything, and it seems like, to me at least, that potentially he's just kind of admitted to it as well, to their friends and stuff like that, saying, she literally said like he's a cheater. So I'm assuming, Valkyrae isn't that stupid enough to kind of just say that kind of stuff about, obviously an old friend. And not have any I say not have any proof, but like after speaking to him, I feel like maybe there was a reason as to why she has said that, rather than just kind of like saying it out there in the open just because she believes it is, because she has spoken to him literally person to person, right? There's also been other people, of course, other like OTV members as well, obviously Pokimane, old OTV member, saying how it sounds to feel disappointed but no longer surprised. It's just a TikTok. That was literally it. Again, God, I don't like Pokimane. I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm going to be real. This is probably one of the cringiest ways I think you could ever, I guess, make a message towards some pretty, crazy accusations and stuff that had come out, making a TikTok of you doing your makeup or whatever. And yeah, again, great. A lot of people have been, kind of saying, get in there, make it about you. Sure, as he's saying, is she genetically coded to be unlikable or something? And yeah, for somehow she's managed to make this TikTok like I dislike her more than Sykkuno. Like, I'm gonna be real. No, I'm joking. But like, of course, you know, I feel like I mean, this is a bit extra for this kind of stuff, right? Maybe, you know, make a little tweet or something. But I mean, come on. But anyways, there's been more people as well responding to it, including LilyPichu, who obviously is quite close to Sykkuno as well, saying, I feel like I don't really know who people truly are, and it's a lot to unpack. I try to believe in people, but I've ended up disappointed so many times and becoming more closed off. I'm taking a few days off. See you guys later. Stay safe. Stay comfy. So yeah, obviously, you know, it probably is hitting quite hard for LilyPichu, and I do like LilyPichu actually. You know, obviously on the contrast to Pokimane, obviously they got a podcast together, and I feel like she actually does ground Pokimane's points quite a lot, which I feel like is actually kind of nice. It's something a little bit different, right? But again, of course, regardless of that, you know, she's going to be heavily affected by the Sykkuno situation as well, saying the entire OTV circle will turn on him because they are social climbers that will abandon their friends at the moment it looks socially acceptable to do so. A bunch of content leeches that thrive in parasocials and preach their more superiority whenever it's convenient. Now, again, obviously there is this whole kind of sentiment of, you know, beforehand, I think a lot of people apparently did know about this stuff was going on. And I don't know if OTV was included in this, including LilyPichu, Pokimane, all of these other people as well. I don't know if they were kind of aware of what was going on, the rumors that were being spread, or maybe they just ignored them because obviously, you know, there's a lot of rumors that come out about streamers sometimes, and a lot of them tend to be untrue. But obviously, you know, sometimes every now and again, some of them do end up being true, or end up being something actually worth talking about. So again, you know, the question is, did they know about these rumors or not? Because it seems like a lot of streamers did know about them. And of course, I don't know how much they've been interacting up until the point when Sykkuno, whenever the stuff came out about Sykkuno, I don't know. But it has been pretty interesting to see, right? As well as one more post from Scarra, essentially talking about his stuff here. Obviously, let's just take a look. And again, it kind of tells you all you need to know about, you know, things to do with his response potentially in the future.
There were some accusations thrown out at a friend of mine, Sykkuno, and they're pretty damning. I think I don't really have much to add to this that isn't super already out there. Overall, the only thing I really am gonna say is that I really don't condone cheating. I fucking hate it. I really am. Everyone's talked about how they're disappointed with him. I feel like stacking that makes no fucking sense. I am most concerned about essentially his girlfriend as well as Lily. I actually feel really bad for them as well as any of the girls who've come out and spoken up about it. Please not attack any of those people, and those are the people I am thinking about the most right now.
Also, side point, why the hell is this watermark here? Anyways, Scarra obviously says, Scarra on Sykkuno, shocked he is, he has a girlfriend, has been around him for 7 years, and so apparently, some of them didn't even know this, right? They didn't know that he had a girlfriend for 7 years, despite obviously being so close with them. You would think, like, you know, maybe you should, like, attend parties or something, or maybe attend events that they were going to, you know, bring your girlfriend along type thing. But, like, not even any of that. Like, it seems like he kind of kept her hidden from a lot of the OTV group and a lot of his friends, which obviously is extremely odd. Maybe that was, you know, kind of pointing towards the, I guess, guilty conscience, I guess he had with, you know, going around to other streamers and stuff, and potentially maybe it's because he wanted to, you know, obviously as we talked about, he would often plan meetups and things during conventions, and so what, you know, obviously he's going to be attending conventions with these people, and if they knew that he had a girlfriend, well, obviously, you know, they'd probably speak up. They'd either tell his girlfriend, hey, by the way, he's doing this weird stuff, well, you know, while we're all on convention and stuff like that, or B, tell him to, like, hey, like, what are you doing, man? Like, you've got a girlfriend type thing. So of course, maybe that was, you know, could be the reason as to why none of them found out that he did have a girlfriend for 7 years, because of course it allowed him to go and do the things that he wanted to do at conventions and events and stuff without being without the fear of I guess his friends, you know, kind of letting the cat out of the bag to the girlfriend or to anybody else, right? So again, that's at least my personal, I guess, theory you could say, or as to why he, why they didn't know that he had a girlfriend. But again, it would make sense. But maybe there's a different reason as well. Also, just another thing to add into this kind of video, I think it is a little bit weird as well how, a lot of the OTV members and stuff and the people who've been interacting with him, as well as outside of OTV, including like Valkyrae and stuff, I find it a little bit weird how they didn't know he had a girlfriend. Obviously, we talked about the possibilities of why they didn't know. For example, him being able to, go to conventions and stuff without being kind of questioned by his friends, like, why are you doing this if you've got a girlfriend? But I do find it a little bit odd that they didn't know after 7 years, right? I feel like he's been interacting with them so closely and, has been, good friends with a lot of them. I feel like it's kind of impossible for them not to know, right? But again, that's been something that a lot of people have been bringing up, is the fact of like, how did they not know? Like, how did this not happen? But again, I don't know. Maybe he was really, really good at hiding it. I don't know. But some people have been asking that question. That I just kind of wanted to add in there as well. I said, you think I'll still be friends with him? I heard in the past Sykkuno did some stuff that I feel bad for LilyPichu and his girlfriend. So yeah, I'll see. That's what I said. Then what does this have to do with Lily? Why would someone send her anything over this? Which, yeah, I was a little bit confused on why Lily in particular. I mean, I guess they were close, saying she basically jump-started Sykkuno's career and introduced him into the OTV sphere. And yeah, but this drama has nothing to do with this. But again, I think this person's been a little bit stupid in the sense of, yes, like, obviously, if you are involved in someone's career, if you are involved in someone's upbringing career and they go and do something like this, you're going to feel pretty bad, right? You're going to feel pretty bad because you are someone who has platformed him and you've brought him to the kind of, position that he is in right now. And of course, you're going to feel bad, even if it isn't necessarily your fault, because of course, he grew thanks to his own kind of, whatever, abilities and whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, some people will still feel bad about it, that they had a part to play in kind of making him less popular, to the point where he got popular enough to, obviously, talk to a lot of smaller creators and do this kind of stuff, saying, whether Sykkuno cheated or not, these friends are so fake, which, yeah, I mean, yeah. But again, it just depends on what it depends on what he told them, right? I don't think they're fake if he straight up told them and admitted to everything, and they're saying like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I don't like that. Like, no, like, what the hell? If he straight up admitted to everything and they're saying this, I think that's fair enough, because, he's just told them the truth, right? But I think that obviously if he's saying like, oh, I'm gonna, make a response or whatever, and they're going, nah, you're done, then maybe I could see some people calling them fake, right? I think that's 100% true. Because, obviously a lot of friends will stick with you if a good friend should stick with you if you're trying to prove this stuff wrong. But obviously if not, and you're just saying, yeah, I did it, then I think, the friends have every reason to drop you, if that's what they want to do, right? So again, I don't know why people call them fake if they know the full information. Now, of course, if they're dropping him just over the allegations and not actually talking to him, then yeah, I mean, that's a little bit weird, and I do think, fair enough. But for example, like Valkyrae said that she spoke to him and said, she hopes for the best in the future, and that's it, right? So again, it seems like she's spoken to him, made up her own mind on what he has said, and yeah, obviously done that, right? So again, I think that is actually the best way to do it, but many people have been discussing that. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially a lot of the responses from many of the people close to Sykkuno and all of the stuff that has been going on lately. Obviously I'll keep you guys up to date if there's anything else that does come out. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially a look off this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.